Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for SP500. I'll cover wave analysis with Elliott Wave Theory and provide multiple scenarios that price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Before jumping into the Elliott Wave counts, overall, let's take a look at the RSI. Again, we are on 4-hour time frame and I've got this trend line here drawn from these two pivot points. Again, the third or fifth of this previous move, allowing us to have the lowest RSI here. And the second pivot point, basically this low here. We can draw this RSI trend line here, and we see another pivot point happening here, where we had the CPI data yesterday, which led us into this massive pump here of around 2.5%. This is significant, as this is basically the cycle that we are tracking. The other way to track it is just the lows of this start of this whole cycle, but we can get into that at some point as well. To confirm this whole thing to be finished, I would be looking for a divergence, which we have here, and a break of a trend line as a confirmation. I am trying to take short positions here, as I'm not following in here into the long setups, even though there is a possibility that there is a scenario for that as well. So let's take a look at the bullish scenario first to get that out of the way. So overall, what we're looking at is a 1-2 here, looking for this to be a possible third wave. Now we have to remind ourselves that this is still a possibility that we have an A, B and C here, same way, exactly same structure. Now we have a 1.618 here, which would support the wave 3 idea more, as generally we would want to see the third wave again go beyond this 1.618, at which point I've been telling we can start to look for more bullish signs overall. Now overall, again, on the third wave we would have this as a 1, 2, 3, very sideways wave 4 and 5. Previously I was thinking that this is some kind of topping pattern, but again, generally when these topping patterns are so sideways, so weird looking, we can almost always determine that it is actually some kind of X wave or a wave 4, and this time a wave 4 would fit this scenario at least. And then we would launch higher again, as this is a wave 4. What is interesting about this whole structure of wave 3 is that wave 3 is smaller than wave 1. This is definitely not typical. We have to remind ourselves and remember that this is not typical. Generally, we want the third wave to go to that 1.618 that we were talking about before and previously. So yeah, it's definitely not typical. What else did we have here? Well, now that wave 3 is not larger than wave 1, we have to be keeping track of wave 5 here in comparison to wave 5 or wave 3 length. So wave 5 cannot go beyond the length of 3. At that point, again, wave 3 would be the smallest. Then at that point, we would have to be saying that we need to be turning more bullish, saying that we have this as a 1-2, another 1-2, something like that. Or we have to be looking for other scenarios here as a 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 3, 4, and so on. There are a few different options there as well, but again, I'm still looking for this to be ending soon-ish. Now, on this smaller time frame, again, we would be looking for this fifth wave, and again, we have the maximum it can go. If we are zooming in a bit more, 30-minute time frame, we are seeing that we already have a lot of divergence happening here. From the third all the way, now we have already 1, 2, well, 3 touches basically on this trend line here. So triple divergence here. Well, basically double divergence, first, second. And yeah, that definitely looks pretty okay as a diagonal, ending diagonal here into the third. It is also possible that this whole structure here for the wave 4 ended down here where we have the wave 2, and instead this would be just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending the whole wave 5 here, instead of starting the wave structure from here and having third, fourth and fifth. So there's 2 scenarios still there. What would be determining that is the fact that we are going to go below this previous wave 4 here. If we go below that, then we can confirm that this whole structure here is basically done. If we are just going to be consolidating here, even on smaller time frame, let's take a look at 5 minute. I was looking at this on Bitcoin where I took my short, so we could be looking at this as a three-way structure coming down, and 1-to-1 would be around $4,200. There is definitely going to be some resistance there, and support there. Do we have something else here as well? Let's take a look at non-LHV stuff. No, not really. POC, yeah, there is yesterday's POC actually here. So that is definitely an area to look for reversals if we are still looking for higher prices. Definitely area to take profits if you are in shorts here. So this area. So yeah, I think that might be the only place. Of course, as we know, generally when these moves happen so fast, generally the wave fours of larger degrees, which are part of this whole structure, can be taking way longer doing something like this. So we can't just say that wave 4 is instantly ending here if we see that third wave and starting to move up. The next part is actually looking at this next structure, whether it's going to be a 3-wave structure or a 5-wave structure. But again, there should be plenty of time to at least Discord, or at least discuss that in Discord, if nowhere else. But yeah, that is basically the scenario where we have this as a 5-wave. The other one, the more bearish one, was this one, in which we were tracking this possibility of having a WXY. Now we have gone to the 1.618 here, which again is something that I don't like. This is basically the last chance I'm going to give this count, having this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, really ugly looking structure to be honest, but nothing else we can really fit here to fit the wave Y idea overall. Let's measure this first move against this second here, see how far are we off of that 1-to-1. We actually just went past it, which is really great. This would suggest that, again, if indeed we are starting to turn downwards, this can definitely be an end here. On higher time frame, let's take a look at the 4-hour. The only issue what I don't like about this count is that we are here looking at something like this. We don't have, or we do have a divergence between this end of W and the end of wave Y. So that's something that I don't like. This would have been way better area to end this whole wave WXY here. Oh, sorry, here. WXY right here, because we don't have that divergence here at all. So generally on 3-way moves we don't expect a divergence, so that's why I was expecting this to be it. Overall, am I liking this structure anymore that much? No, I'm not. If I want to be looking at the bearish scenario, I would look at this, and instead of the wave 1 here, I would be saying A, B, and then this would be C. Okay. We can get into this larger time frame on the weekend, but just a quick thing. If we want to be more bullish, we would be liking this to be a wave 2, 3, 4, and 5, moving this third all the way up here. At that point, we have the chance of consolidating for the wave 4, for this back to this area where we had this major resistance before, turning now that into support, and then get that wave 5 here to turn this into 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. But we can talk about that more on the weekend update, as that is not relevant here during the weekdays. But that is pretty much everything I wanted to share today on this video. If you made it this far, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.